All right, so talk to us about some of the bumps on scaling. If someone's looking to do what you did, right? The guy's out here is saying, you know what, I've been looking to do direct mail. I got some money. I have some time. I'm gonna go replicate what Mike did. What's some of the scaling I don't know, gotchas or bewares that you would share here?
Yeah, there's a lot. People, first of all, people, if they're not a culture fit, like have your core values and don't break them. And sometimes you do based off of like somebody that's like super good at interviewing, even though they might not hit one of the core values that you kind of negotiate with yourself and say, yeah, actually they do hit the core value here, like you kind of lie to yourself.
Justify
You
it.
bring them on every time I've done that. It hasn't worked out, which is only 2 times. But it hurt us in a big way with one of the guys. It was our dispo guy. And he actually was, we locked up a contract. He said he couldn't sell it. He said, but he was interested in it. He's like, I'll pay a 20 grand spread. He told us a week later after he closed, he's like, hey, just want to let you know, I actually sold it for this much. And it was 100 grand spread.
Oh,
So he essentially stole 100 grand from us. And so that's one of the guys that I was just like kind of lied to myself about the core values situation. So there, like people's everything.
Well,
And then
you
other things,
I
go ahead.
want to dive deeper in that because you said that the hiring, the people, the culture part, like you said that like so easily, like that's like that beats the hell out of people that own businesses. That those things that you just easily said, like I got this.
Yeah.
Talk to us about core values. Like, what are your guys' core values, and kind of where how you take that into your this conversation you're talking about bringing the right people on.
Yeah, so our core values are have grit, be an entrepreneur, win as a team, make it enjoyable, uh, commit to excellence, and those are our core values, and those are incredibly important. Oh, do the right thing. I missed that one. That's what, and so did the guy that stole 100,000 from us. Missed that one too.
You're still justifying it. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And actually, that is the most important one. I talk about that. Yeah, man. I mean, it's so freaking important to have your core values. You have to live and breathe by those. You have to operate by those. You have to hire and fire based off core values. And we do all this, but we are so obsessive about the US model, the entrepreneur's operating system model. I mean, we have implemented it so well. I think that's one of our biggest strengths. I mean, I probably spent 20 hours developing our core values. And that's how I knew I had the right partner, because he was willing to do it with me. Because I had businesses before this that were successful from a revenue perspective, but were absolute, I don't know if you can swear on here, but were absolute like
go for it.
shit shows,
Beep.
companies to operate. And I didn't never wanted that again. And my partner was a wild man that I had. He was just like, I never knew what he was doing. He would never wanted like, he was not intentional. He just wanted to just go out and make things happen, and that's it, no matter how he did it. And so in this business that I'm in now, I wanted to make sure that we were as intentional as possible. We did the EOS system. We still do the EOS system. We do our weekly L10s. We meet every single week. We do our quarterlies. We do our annuals. And that's how we got to this point.
How does the core values play into partners? Like, I think that's important too. That not just employees. Like, you already said that you have a good yin and yang with your partners, and that's huge. But I think you just said the core values. Like, how should people look at their own core value? Because if someone's looking to partner up, a lot of times these partnerships, just like, hi, having a beer is like, yeah, you do this, I'll do this, and we'll do this.
Yeah,
And we'll
you
get out of
see
our full time
that
jobs.
way too often. Way too often.
It's very casual.
Yes.
And how would you advise people, like, when it comes to that, looking kind of
Oh,
hindsight of your career?
oh man. That is a great question. And you clearly you've had partners before if you've asked this question. But yeah, it's extremely important. I see people way too casual about starting partnerships, and it typically ends poorly. Rarely do partnerships work out, and it's because they don't vet each other. They don't do projects with each other up front to see how each other work. That's super important. I mean, if I were starting a business with someone, I would do a project with them first to see if you worked well together, to see how they work, to see what they do, what they say they're going to do. And then so I can gauge their core values to make sure that our core values line up with each other's. And that's if they don't, and if like one of those experiments don't pass, don't move forward.